Welcome to Etihad Focus, your home for the latest match updates, transfer news, breaking rumours, and exclusive training insights. If you love football and want fast, accurate updates, you're in the right place. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay connected with all the action only on Etihad Focus. Pep Guardiola makes £2.2 million investment as business empire outside of football, grows Manchester City head coach Pep Guardiola has several business interests away from his job as an elite football manager. Pep Guardiola is already laying the groundwork for his post-football career with a string of business ventures. While the Manchester City manager's main priority remains reversing his team's recent slump in form, Guardiola is also making intriguing moves beyond the beautiful game. The 55-year-old first made his name as a brilliant midfielder for Barcelona, but has scaled even loftier peaks since retiring from playing. Taking the reins at his former club in 2008, Guardiola steered Barcelona to an unprecedented treble in his debut campaign and amassed 12 major trophies during his 4-year tenure. After another successful period at Bayern Munich, Guardiola was appointed Manchester City manager in 2016, where he set about constructing a dynasty. The Catalan tactician has clinched 6 Premier League crowns and also guided City to Champions League glory. As he approaches a decade at City, speculation continues to mount regarding Guardiola's long-term future, with his current deal running until 2027. While it's unclear whether he'll pen another extension, Guardiola appears to have a clear strategy for his various business pursuits. He recently teamed up with his former Barcelona star, Sergio Busquets, as both purchased stakes in a property investment trust. Spanish publication La Razón reports that Guardiola and Busquets have each snapped up a 14.21% stake in Alcalá Seguro asset market. The investment cost around £2.2 million, €2.5 million each. Venture Europe has also secured a further 17% stake, with 52.62% remaining with Alcalá Seguro through company president Antonio Carrozza. The firm specializes in managing affordable rental housing, with a market capitalization standing of £6 million, €7 million. It is claimed that Guardiola made the investment through his 080220003 limited company. Vanitatis reports that the purchase was approved in May 2025, but was not finalized until last month. However, it is not the first time that the high-profile boss has joined one of his former players in a business venture. Last year, he invested in Monarca Clinic alongside ex-Barcelona and Bayern star Thiago Alcantara and former Espanyol player Jonathan Soriano. The clinic, based in Barcelona, offers regenerative therapy, neurosurgery, and integrative pain therapy, as well as specialized sports medicine and preconditioning. Guardiola's interest in the project began after he received treatment from Dr. Mireia Ilueca, the company's co-founder. Monarca Clinic opened in June 2025. However, last year also saw the closure of the city manager's restaurant, Taste Catala. The Catalan eatery, nestled in the heart of Manchester, first welcomed diners in 2018. A message on the restaurant's Instagram account stated, "After much consideration, we have made the difficult decision to close Taste's doors for the very last time on the 20th of December 2025. What Pep Guardiola saw from Mark Gui in Manchester City training as teammate claim made Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola spoke about Mark Gui after the £20 million signing made his debut for the club. Pep Guardiola likened Mark Gui to Ruben Dias as he praised the immediate impact the £20 million signing has made for Manchester City. Gui completed a move from Crystal Palace this week and made his debut in a 2-0 win over Wolves that steadies the ship at the Etihad Stadium after a difficult start to 2026. City's victory ended a run of just 3 points from their last 4 matches in the Premier League and moves them to within 4 points of Arsenal ahead of the leaders taking on United on Sunday. Gui did not train with his new teammates until they returned from their Champions League defeat in Bodo on Thursday, but the last few days have been enough for Guardiola to know what a talent the club have on their books for the next 5.5 years. It's not necessary to tell you about Mark and who he is. The captain from Crystal Palace, national team for your country, and he knows everything. You had a feeling from day one, he said. I remember Ruben Dias had incredible focus in every action and winning duels. With the ball, he had incredible composure. We didn't train anything yet, but I have the feeling with the people in the middle move a little bit better. They have not come for 6 months, they've come for many years. The transfer is a really good prize, and they are the perfect age, 25-26, so an incredible signing for Manchester City for many years. He's a guy you can rely on. You see it in 2 training sessions, how he moves, how he talks, how he sees what happens to surround him, reading the situations. Really good. Gui will not be available for City on Wednesday night against Galatasaray in a game they must win if they want to have any hopes of going straight through to the Champions League last 16 without needing a 2-legged playoff. However, with Josko Gvardiol, Diaz and John Stones still injured, he will almost certainly come back into the 11 for the Premier League game at Tottenham next Sunday afternoon. Pep Guardiola rages at Prem refs again as Manchester City boss calls out Howard Webb. Pep Guardiola was furious with referee Farai Hallam's decision not to give Manchester City a penalty during their win over Wolves, and he made it known in his press conference. Pep Guardiola has claimed that Manchester City overcame Wolves despite the performance of the officials, as he criticised PGMOL chief Howard Webb for justifying a foul during last week's Manchester derby. Guardiola claimed Diogo Dalot's tackle on Jeremy Doku forced the City winger to miss their Champions League defeat to Bodo/Glimt in midweek, and slammed Webb for publicly backing the decision. Guardiola was incensed on Saturday after his side were denied a penalty against Wolves in City's 2-0 victory. Omar Marmoush demanded a spot kick for handball, and it was referred to VAR, who recommended referee Farai Hallam, making his Premier League debut, to review the monitor. Maintaining his initial judgment, Hallam determined it wasn't a penalty, as he stated that the defender's arms were in a natural position when the ball struck him. Guardiola was unhappy about the decision following the match, and he also remains annoyed about Webb publicly declaring that Dalot's foul merited only a yellow card, as he urged his players to fight the decisions that he believes are working against his team. Yesterday, I said I had the feeling that not having the players for the last 2 seasons is the only regret I have, Guardiola said. I would love to have players to fight against that. We won despite them. We did 6 Premier Leagues in 9 years, so why do I not have the players? The referee made a huge debut. Now everybody will know him. I think it's the first time they go to the TV and disallowed what is a normal position of the arms. I'm pretty sure that Howard Webb tomorrow is going to appear in the media to explain why it's not a penalty and what he did against United, like it was the first time he had done it because there was a little bit of doubt. That's why Jeremy could not play in Norway for the action from Dalot. But it's okay. I'm waiting tomorrow. Don't wait for Wednesday. We have Champions League. We are busy. Howard Webb, come tomorrow and explain why it's not a penalty. That's why bring me back the players, please, to fight what we have done since day one. It's too much. Guardiola's frustrations with officials stretch back to when he first arrived at the Etihad Stadium a decade ago. But his grievances have grown stronger following a meeting at the start of the season, which seemed to suggest that Erling Haaland and others would receive greater protection. The failure of this to materialise has left the City manager increasingly frustrated. Come tomorrow to explain the rules how it works again. Do you know how many fouls are whistled to Jeremy with his incredible speed? If you and me run side by side with our rhythm and they push us and go down, it's diving. But the speed with Jeremy, they touch a little bit and he cannot control his speed, Guardiola continued. Do you know how many fouls that they believe is diving from Jeremy? At the beginning of the season, they